What's up, investigators? Welcome to One Shot Deck Spot. Hey, I'm Graham from the Paladcast Detective Agency, and this is a series, a thing that I'm going to do, which is basically where I build a deck on stream and then I play it. How great is that? It's like the greatest thing that you could ever hope for. And today, I'm very excited to tell you all about an interesting idea that I had for a Rita deck. Uh, this idea all started because I wanted to try solo standalone Rita, and I really wanted to see, like, I guess I was trying to figure out how to manage enemies with Rita solo because she can evade everything, which is great, but I wasn't sure about how to like actually kill enemies or like what happens if you get bombarded with a bunch of dudes. And so I was like, okay, well, let's play with the what's it called, the improvised event, impromptu barrier. And then it's like, okay, I'll evade a bunch of enemies all at once, and I can use a survival instinct to do the same thing. So that all sounds cool. um, but now how are we going to do clues? And I said, well, it's a card that I think is actually kind of decent, but I don't get to use a whole lot. It's newspaper level 2. So I was like, well, if she's got newspaper level 2 to do clues, that's not enough on its own. But you know what else is good is winging it. Okay, so now we have 2 improvised events, and we've got one of our hand slots taken up. So I don't really want to use the bow because then I want to get the bow down or the newspaper. That's kind of hard to juggle. Um, but then we got machete, we've got fire axe. There's a lot of good weapons there. Um, and now we've got 4 improvised cards, and I said, well, that seems like a good home for cornered. Uh, because you'll be pitching these cards into the discard pile to give yourself a boost on stuff. Use resourceful to bring back other things that you've maybe done that to. Um, and so I thought, well, if we've already got cornered in there, then maybe we'll do improvised weapon to like kind of flush out the suite and give us lots of cornered targets. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm going to bring up that graphic again real quick. Um, Basically, because we've got newspaper level 2, we're using just one-handed tools. We're going to use the improvised suite to kind of balance out whatever else we need that we're not finding the assets for. And I thought this might be a good opportunity to try out something like a Rabbit's Foot level 3, or maybe Think on Your Feet, or what's the one that lets that all the enemies in the enemy phase like fight each other? Infighting is what it's called. So those are all options of ways that we can spend our XP. But I haven't built the deck yet, so I guess that's the next step, is that we gotta dive in and build this here deck. I've For whatever reason, I've been feeling kind of negative tonight. I'm really kind of down, and so I wanna blow off some steam. And what better way to do that than with some cool Arkham? So I mentioned that the whole idea started with impromptu barrier and using survival instinct and using those cards to help manage our enemies. Remember that both of these do have an effect that evades multiple enemies all at once. So that's why those are good. Um, and really, survival instinct is slightly better for that, but impromptu barrier has its place as well. So I mentioned some ideas for weapons, which was meat cleaver and improvised weapon. And maybe between those two, that's enough. I could put in fire axe, no problemo. But I think with Rita's inherent ability to do some damage, plus meat cleaver, plus impromptu weapon, plus we have all these like evade tools, I feel like that's actually gonna be enough. We'll see. We'll start with that. I mentioned newspaper level 2. It still gives you the +2 while investigating for having while you have no clues, but then it lets you pick up an extra clue, which is nice. if you have no clues. So it's pretty good as a solo card because you pick up some clues and you spend them. You pick up some clues and you spend them. So we're going to try that out. I'm not sure it's the greatest thing ever, but that's also why we have Winging It. So newspaper and Winging It for multi-clue stuff. Meat Cleaver does 2 damage. Improvised Weapon does 2 damage. Her ability does 1 damage. We've got lots of evade. This seems like an okay place to start. I have a lot of ideas for clothes, but I'm wondering if there's... I mean, so here's the thing about newspaper too, is that sometimes you would just rather have a flashlight because you can get those low shrouds almost guaranteed. So I'm not even convinced that it's like better than those. We're not going to be committing an abnormal amount of cards. I always look at Grizzly Totem. I think it's actually pretty good. But we're using Cornered as a way to boost, right? So we're not really going to be committing a ton of cards. I don't want to use Grizzly Totem. So I was thinking we could try out level 3 Rabbit's Foot. That's a card I wanted to look at for a long time. For every point that you fail by when you fail a test, you get to filter draw. So if you fail by 3, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and, draw, what am I trying to say? Draw one of those cards that you look at. Sidebar, this could be kind of interesting with Mandy and some sort of multiplayer combo thing. So, little idea for you there. So if we are using our accessory slot on Rabbit's Foot instead of Keepsake, it means we need our boy Peter Sylvester. And I'm burning through XP right now, but I can rein in some of these, right? I can use base level Peter Sylvester, for example. I could try level 0 newspaper. It's not particularly good, but why not? So there's a new rogue card. It's a myriad card. Well, first of all, I was thinking about Think on Your Feet as a way to do some mobility and stuff. And then it's Rita, which means that Trek Shoes is probably going to go in. So those are the other 2 things I had thought of. Trek Shoes just because it's super darn good. Boost her evade, which is something she wants. Extra movement's great. Think on Your Feet, I actually think is very good in solo Rita, because it is a solution to enemies before you have to figure out anything else. I would consider putting some XP into Think on Your Feet, but I mean, I'm already at 18 XP, so I don't know if that's a good idea or not. All right, so Pack Filter, I don't have the Dream Eaters in here. Easy Mark is a trick. It's a myriad card, which means you spend 1 XP to get all 3 of them. And it's a money card. If you play it and it costs you the action, you're drawing a card to replace it. So it's kind of cantripy, but then you get to gain 2 resources as well. So now it's not using the myriad bonus, I don't think, or the myriad XP discount yet on Arkham DB. So we just have to remember that we have 3 easy marks, but we only have to pay for 1 of them as per the myriad rules. So it's okay. It's new to Arkham DB, so that's forgivable. And I'm kind of thinking at this point we got to start looking at some skills, right? Are there any fancy survivor skills that we want? Take Heart's really good. Take Heart with Rabbit's Foot would be a really strong combo. Stunning Blow is good in Rita. Resourceful to get back stuff that we pitch with Cornered seems almost automatic. So I'm going to have to add in, I'm going to have to go above 30, and then we'll kind of rein it back in a little bit. Or I'll just add adaptable, or not adaptable, what's it called? Versatile. And then I don't have to remove cards. I don't have to cut cards anymore. How great is that? Waylay's really good. Lucky's really good. Take Heart's really good. I already got survival instinct in there. Not without a fight is not very. That's not. I'm not feeling that. And then cantrip switch would be guts, so that I don't die to willpower treacheries. Manual dexterity is almost overkill. Overpower I want for meat cleaver, an improvised weapon. And then perception would be the other one, so I can get some clues, particularly with winging it. So I'm at 38 cards. I have to find a bunch to cut. Oh, and the last one I wanted to look at was infighting. I'm just going to add that. So if you don't remember, infighting cancels all attacks made by non-elite enemies against you this phase, during an enemy phase. So it's kind of a get out of jail free card. The icons on it are killer, even though it is a very situational event. I want to throw one of those in there just to see. Just to see. Why not? So I'm at 22 experience and 39 cards. So, well, I could cut Rabbit's Foot. I could also go down to a regular Rabbit's Foot instead of level 3 to get some XP back. I could go down to regular Peter Sylvester that actually have an XP left over. Well, I was gonna cut all my, or one of some of these improvised events, but I feel like they're kind of the core of the deck right now. Lucky seems too good to drop. I could drop Take Heart, but that would be a really good way to. I mean, I would just set up so darn fast, you know. I kind of. What's my cost curve looking like? How much? It's not a very expensive cost curve. I don't know if you can see that on the stream, but like, I don't know. I got 15 one cost cards, so I feel like Easy Mark is enough. I don't need the money from Take Heart, so I'm actually going to try dropping Take Heart for now. Survival Instinct is sort of situational, but it's pretty good. How are my icons looking? Let's take a look at my icons. A bunch of agility, a bunch of intellect, actually, which is good. Maybe I dropped the perceptions. Oh, man, I don't know. Dropping the perceptions meaning that I have an infighting and my level 2 newspaper to commit, and then lucky and stuff, but, I mean, clues are her weak points, so I don't know if that's the right call. I'm going to make sure that the stream's coming in nice and pretty like. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Stream's good. So there's that. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I could keep my draw cards and go to like one of these other things. Maybe just do one think on your feet. I also gotta. I mean, I could do one Rabbit's Foot. I gotta drop 7 cards, huh? Well, some of that's gotta come out of skills for sure. I mean, right now, I feel like this deck is already pretty fast. If I wanted to go up in experience, I'm at 22, so I could add 7. I could upgrade Survival Instinct for 4. Lucky for 6 or 7, maybe. Problem with Easy Mark is that your deck slots are already so tight, you know. I think I'm gonna drop 1 Survival Instinct knowing that I have impromptu barrier. And man, those cantrips though, guts overpower perception. They're like so good, right? She'll have a willpower of 4 with Peter Sylvester. I still think guts is good, and she doesn't have cherished keepsake, so I'm a little bit nervous about her sanity situation. No way to heal otherwise, so I think I got to keep the guts. Overpower my. I mean, the thing I have to remember about these skill cards is that literally anything can be an unexpected courage because I have cornered. So maybe overpower isn't the best include. I'd be using it with improvised weapon, which pseudo gives me a +1 to fight. So I'm fighting at like a 4, which isn't great. And meat cleaver, I'll probably be fighting around a 5 most of the time. So yeah, I'm going to drop the overpowers. Those perceptions are hard to cut. Is lucky redundant? I just think the power of being able to like not commit stuff, knowing that you have a lucky in hand, is still really good. I gotta find 3 XP somewhere, or I can just upgrade my 1 survival instinct and my 2 luckies, maybe, or my 2 think on my feats. That would outdo hunters. I'll keep the base level think on your feet. Let's upgrade my luckies. And upgrade my survival instinct. So now it says I'm at 30, but because of the easy mark thing, I'm actually at 28. That's pretty good. Impromptu barrier. See, like improvised weapon and impromptu barrier, I'm tempted to go down to 1 of each of those because they're a little bit more situational, and when you use them, they get shuffled back into your deck, which is nice. But I mean, the idea is that I would use them with cornered. Maybe I like having 1 waylay in Rita because you can kill off that like 1 VP enemy that's not elite in most scenarios. Waylaying them is really nice. Really nice. So I could go down to 1 think on your feet. I go down to 1 track shoes. That's kind of ballsy. But it's not like the most important card in my deck. So I'm going to do 1 track shoes, 1 improvised weapon, 1 impromptu barrier, and 1 think on your feet. And I know there's a lot of 1-ofs in here now. I can't really decide, so I figure I'm going to play a little bit, see which cards I really wanted, which ones I wanted to see, which cards I ended up just using as cornered fodder. And we'll try this. I think this is a good place to start. This is just throw things at it. That's the name of this deck because we're going to be throwing bookcases, we're throwing guns, we're throwing the agility, we're throwing chairs and table legs and all kinds of stupid stuff. So cool, that's our deck list. We did it. We have did it. We're going to switch on over to that cool. Oh man, I'm sorry I had the text up this whole time from what's it called? No, bring it back. I'm sorry that I had to overlay. I never got rid of it. Well, that's because I'm a kind of tired boy, and that's what you get from a tired dude. Okay, so we're in Tabletop Simulator. In theory, the chat's going to show up on the screen, so like that's cool. Although no guarantees that it's like gonna be pretty to look at. But yeah. All right, so we got this big Arkham DB pile here. I think the Dream Eaters cards are so new that it's not going to recognize them, and so we're going to have to add Easy Mark ourselves. I almost wonder if instead of newspaper, I should be trying out that new event that's Myriad that gets better the more copies of it are in your discard pile, because I could use that as cornered fodder and then pick up like 3 clues as an action later on, or 2 clues or whatever it is. Let's see, there it goes. My weakness is indebted this time around. Oh, also, how much XP are we at? Let's take a look. 29, so I have to add 2 more random weaknesses to this pile of good stuff. So I'm going to go get my new weaknesses that are over here. Cool. We're going to shuffle this whole thing up and draw a weakness, chronophobia, and a weakness. Amnesia. That'll be bad. Normally I would whine about the amnesia, but you know what? We might only play this deck, this iteration of the deck once, and then what? I'm indebted, so I start with 3 resources instead of 5, which is not terrible. All right. So for a standalone scenario, I picked Heart of the Elders Part 1. It's just a general, like, sort of Rita-friendly thing. It's kind of nice because you can gauge sort of how much XP you get. Get a good read on like how good your deck is. So, yeah. Flavor text for this is "You're in the jungle." Done. Search for a pattern. We're trying to collect clues to then solve this weird Rubik's Cube puzzle outside of a cave in Mexico. So we start at the mouth of Kinyan, which has a resign action. I don't have any supplies as part of the standalone experience. I'm also going to use, let's set up my camera 2 here. I'm going to use my Explore variant, which is you take treacheries out of the deck based on the number of players. So for solo, there's only 1 treachery that goes in. The other treacheries all go back into the encounter deck. And then this scenario also says you get to add 1 random ruin to the exploration deck. So there's my exploration deck. That's all set up. And let's draw an opening hand. Are we ready for that? Is that the life we're living right now? Started with Peter. Seems great. Definitely don't care about resourceful. Perception. I don't care about her signature right now. And I don't know if I care about guts. What's the worst treachery in this deck? It's ants. There's also Lost in the Wilds. But I'm going to have Peter down first. So I don't really need the guts as badly. Do I keep the perception as a way to get clues early? I think I do. Normally I mulligan all my skill cards, but oh, look at that. Look at that. Rabbit's Foot cornered Peter Sylvester. What a time to be alive. Alright, so now there's a chance that when I explore, there's going to be ants, which is an agility test. So, first action, let's play Peter. And now I have an agility of 6. I have no money, which is bad. So, second action, let's explore. I'll just get a move on to this party. Circuitous Trail, no. Here, let's zoom in on what we're doing here. Time-racked Woods, no. Overgrown Ruins. Overgrown Ruins. That's great. Rita's like, Peter, let's go. And he's like, babe, look at these cool ruins. After you enter Overgrown Ruins, if you're poisoned, lose all remaining actions in your turn. Alright, well, I am not. So, second action was Overgrown Ruins. This is a Shroud of 5, which is not good for me. So I can either explore again. How am I going to get that? I didn't put Look What I Have Found or Belly of the Beast in my deck, which is a problem. And now that I think about it, I probably would have done those instead of Perceptions. either one of those cards would have been fine. I actually kind of like Belly of the Beast more in Rita, especially because I got Peter in track shoes. That's the one that if you evade an enemy by 2 or more, then you get to pick up a clue at your location. It's a lot more specific than Look What I Found, but I don't need the icons as much because this is a corner deck, so I think that would have been fine. All right, well, so that's not super good. I am going to need money to play some of these cards, so I'm going to take a resource last action. Enemy phase is nothing. Upkeep phase. Draw a card, gain a resource, and you know what? It's raining outside right now, and I love it. All right, we go up to 1 Doom out of 5. This is kind of a fast scenario, and we drew the Pit Viper. So we definitely got to evade the Pit Viper. I guess, I mean, this is a little bit of a hub location. So I might just want to kill this guy off for the Vengeance. Is there an effect? I don't think there's an effect of me having the Vengeance right now, so I'm just going to do it. So first action, let's evade. I'm a 5, 6 on 3, so I'm 3 up on this test. Skulls are -1, so that's going to evade the Pit Viper, and I'll use Rita's ability to deal it a damage. So it actually goes in the victory display as Vengeance. So let's go second action. I'm going to play Rabbit's Foot. And then last action, let's explore. Alright, so I'm at the Overgrown Ruins. I draw the Circuitous Trail. Boop. And this says I have to spend 3 resources to investigate or explore there. That's rough. I don't love that. Alright, so that was upkeep phase. Go up to 2 Doom. And I'm going to draw ants. Alright, well, let's not fail this, right? Let's see, it's agility 4. And I'm a 6 on 4 right now. Let me take a look at this chaos bag here. There's a -5. What did I say? I'm at 6 on 4. And then there's 1 of each of the bad tokens. 1 of each of the spooky tokens. And then there's a -3. So the spooky tokens are -2, -2, and -3. So I do want to be 3 up on this test. So I will commit the Rabbit's Foot. So I'm a 5, 6, 7 on 4. I draw a -3 if you fail, take a horror. Well, I don't fail. Cool. I did that mostly because I really wanted to get cornered down to see like what's going on with this deck to see if it's any good. So let's play cornered. And now next time I draw ants, I can just tank it because I don't care. Let's go, I guess, back to the Overgrown Ruins and then explore again. Because I can't get either of these clues. I'm real bad at this. Alright, so second action, move. And last action, let's explore. So, looking for the moon, I suppose. River Canyon is a no. Tamarack Woods is a no. Low on supplies. I can't lose 2 resources because nothing changes. Is that right? So I will, let's put these back in here. I'm going to take a damage. If I had 1 resource, there's still a change. So that would still be good. Alright, so that was my turn. A whole lot of nothing going on so far, but I'm just getting the engine ready. Just getting it started up. Oh yeah. Snake bite. If I fail, I will be poisoned. I don't want to fail. I could commit improvised weapon to this, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna just take it on the chin. Well, I auto-failed, so I can either be poisoned or deal 5 damage to Peter. Poison's pretty bad, But if I kill off Peter, I don't have a good answer for horror. So, I guess I'll kill off Peter. And then I failed a test by 3. The autofail treats it as a 0. So I'm going to search the top 3 cards of my deck, which is Resourceful, Lucky, and Guts. I guess the Lucky, because the Resourceful would just be there to bring back stuff. I guess I can bring back Peter with Resourceful. That's not bad. I didn't think about that. Cool. Well, I mean, not that I have the money for it, but here we go. Let's keep exploring. Gotta explore the jungle. Looking for the moon one. Yeah. Cool. I love the moon one. It's the bridge, which is not a victory point location, so I don't care about it. I guess I'm technically looking for clues, which I may or may not be concerned about. I have no clues, and I'm going to need, like, I mean, at least 3 or 4 sometime today. So second action, let's investigate with a perception. So I'm a 2, 4 on 2. That's good enough. I'm 2 up on this test. -2. I'll take it. Draw a card. I don't know if I shuffle my deck because that Resourceful was on top. There you go. And then I get this clue. And last action, I'm going to explore. At the rope bridge, I have to test agility 2. I'm a 6. So, or I'm only a 5 now. That's still fine. So I succeed. So then I get to explore as per normal. And I get to the River Canyon. And neato. Well, end of the round, draw a card, gain a resource. Not the most riveting game I've ever played. Honestly, that Indebted slowed me down a little bit. Another Pit Viper. Another Pit Viper, are you kidding me? Stupid Pit Viper. I kind of still don't feel like the vengeance matters because I'm doing standalone. So, I could evade or like fight with the Resourceful to get back Peter. It's not a bad option. Sure. I mean, I don't have the money for it yet, so maybe I'll just keep doing my thing. All right, first action, let's evade. I'm a 5 on 3. Let's make it 6 on 3 with Resourceful. It's -2. If you're poisoned, it would automatically fail instead. Well, I'm not, because I'm a smart boy. So Pit Viper gets added to the victory display, and Resourceful is going to get me back a Peter. Babe, sorry I got lost. I saw this really cool moss on this log, and I thought it would be like this really cool thing to get. Second action, let's explore again. I'm kind of having trouble getting some good clue tools, but honestly, at this point, I think I could maybe investigate the 5 between the perception, the lucky, and the corner. Serpent's Haven, that's the one. So let's take a look. If you're poisoned, take a damage there. I don't want that damage. And then last action, let's investigate. I don't have a wing yet anywhere nearby, do I? Nope. I guess I kind of hold on to the perception. So let's use cornered and discard improvised weapon. So I'm a 2, 4 on this test. -2. Okay, I passed. I got a clue. Huzzah. Bully for me. Still not much in the enemy department. So I guess that's good. But we're going to advance right now. Shove the encounter discard pile in the encounter deck. I don't have binoculars, so to discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded, and then spawn it with me. Rude. All right, show me an enemy. 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 Looking for enemies. Where's the enemies at? Bunch of snake bites. Ooh, Lodi. I got a basilisk. Okay. Okay. Now we got a situation. This right here is a situation here. I guess I still got to draw my encounter card, which is Pitfall. I don't really care about damage, and I'm pretty good at agility, so I'm just going to take this test on the chin. And I will, yep, I'm a 5-on-3 for this. 0, so I pass. Cool beans. So I definitely think I can do some damage to this thing. The question is, do I want to? Or would I rather just evade it because of all the vengeance? I mean, technically, all the vengeance comes back to bite you in the next scenario. So, I don't love that. I could burn my survival instinct on this, but I don't think that's necessary. So, this thing doesn't have alert. I'm just going to evade it 1 up. If I fail, I get a rabbit's foot draw. I got lucky in hand if I care a lot. But I can do this, and then I can investigate, and then I can move and just get out of here. Oh, it is a hunter. Okay. All right, so first action, I'm evading 1 up on this test. -3, so I failed by 2. I can either pass with lucky or fail with rabbit's foot. I think I'm going to fail with rabbit's foot. So I fail, and I'm going to search the top 2 cards of my deck for a card and add it to my hand. That winging it would be good. Lucky seems particularly relevant at the moment. I think I take the winging it. Second action, let's evade, and I'm going to be, I'll use cornered and discard the winging it. So I am a 5, 6, 7 on 4, because there's still 2 or 3 -3s in that bag. Yeah. All right. So I successfully evaded, which is cool. And then I can either play Peter or I can investigate. I think I'm going to investigate. So I can commit a perception. I'll be a 2-4 on that perception. Or I'll be a 4 on 2, or I can spend a resource with winging it. It doesn't matter the extra clue part, but I would be 3 up instead of 2. I'm going to do that. So as my last action, I'm playing winging it, which investigates. So I'm at a 2-4 on 1 with winging it, which I pass. So perception's going to draw me a card. Winging it gets shuffled back into my deck. I don't think this lucky should have been shuffled. I forgot to do that again. So